Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Chayan Apash coming at you with another lesson. And this lesson is going to be entitled, Raja Jackson was easy work for Satan. He was easy work for Satan. Okay, what do I mean by that? I mean that Satan caused this clown, he's a clown and a fool, to lose his career and his freedom, most likely, behind this event. Okay, and I've been watching this. I watched this from earlier, and I'm just doing a lesson on this now. But when you watch this, there's an incident that happened with this Edomite. He popped up, and what seemed to be an Edomite. It's according to his spirit, he seems like an Edomite to me. This is an Edomite to me, all right? Because this is what I know Edomites to be when you go to the bar. They get all up in your personal space. It's they just don't have no boundaries, So I assess that he's an Edomite, that also looks like an Edomite, And he went and did some stupid stuff to this guy, and it got him mad, And let's play this video, right? But this is not the point that I want, right? All this whole scenario was set up by Satan, It was set up in the spirit by ultimately Yahweh Bashim Yahushua wanted to bring judgment on him and this guy, but it was set up by Satan,
Hands at the hips to get some camera time.
That's the only reason why I'm here.
AJ takes Raja to the back to meet the wrestlers that he's familiar with, the ones that he actually knows.
As Presidente, I fucking hate you. I hate this dude. Worst.
And that's when Psycho Stu decides to come up behind Raja, stick his belly out, hands at the hips to get some camera time. Raja, unfazed, not caring, just decides to keep talking to the dudes until Psycho Stu decides to take matters into his own hands.
Where's the real McKill at? Where's he at?
You don't need to worry about him. You need to be worried about Psycho Stu.
Psycho Stu?
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's what.
Oh, you don't sell it?
This is where things start to go south. Unfortunately, the dude was probably pretty drunk already, didn't know what was going on, and saw the camera and Raja and thought that this was some sort of skit or that Raja was another pro wrestler recording something for the promotion. Worst part,
which this is just stupidity. You don't just come up to somebody you don't know, you're in this space and then you go and hit them with a can to make some type of point. This is not how you start off an interaction with somebody right? So I can understand why he was mad at this situation. This is disrespectful.
part about it being that this guy took one of these prop cans to Raja's head, not knowing that Raja was already recovering from a concussion that he got in light sparring from a spinning kick just a couple days ago.
No, I didn't go with my pops. How does my head feel? I'm still fucked up. I'm not even gonna lie. It's part of the reason why I didn't stream earlier. What the fuck was that?
You're good.
What the fuck was that?
You don't sell it?
Dude, he's not a fucking
Bro.
marketer, bro.
What the fuck was that? Hold on. I don't play that shit, bro.
Oh, sorry.
No.
See, like, this guy might not even be aware that this guy's an actual trained MMA fighter, so he's in danger. He doesn't even know it, right? And I understand why he's mad here. So I have no problem with this. If you even slapped him here, I wouldn't have any problem with it because he hit him with the can, so that's justifiable.
Nah, I will fuck him
We're
up,
good.
bro.
I know you will.
No.
We're good.
I will
Sorry
fuck
about
him
that.
up, bro.
I know you will.
I don't play that shit.
Sorry about that.
After telling Raja that he didn't know who he was, Stu then gets reprimanded by AJ. AJ gets pretty upset and lets him know that he's just a worker and that he needs to not be on all the time.
You good. Apologize for that, man. Fix that. You hear me?
Yeah.
Gracie. So what are you going?
See, so now he's in a wrathful spirit. Okay, he's in a wrathful spirit, and even though after this, they tried to squash it, and he tried to shake his hand, and he, I understand not want to take his hand or whatever the case may be, but then later on, down the line in the day, he's still thinking about it. That's why the scriptures speak about don't let the sun go down on your wrath. You know, grievous anger was not made for man. You know what I mean? Pride and grievous anger was not made for man. And this guy is full of anger, man. And you know he was full of anger because, you know, back in the day when he was younger, you know, he punched his father in the face, Rampage Jackson. And Rampage Jackson had to pretty much almost send him to the hospital or send him to the hospital. I don't know if he went to the hospital, but he said that he almost sent him to the hospital, something like that. But he beat him up real good because this kid has anger issues, and that's very dangerous, man. That could put him and people around him in great danger. You know, and this is Satan's playground. Satan loves guys like this. Satan loves guys like this, super emotional dudes. He loves that. You know, you're full of emotion, and then you're also full of testosterone. Oh, that's beautiful for him to work with. You know, this is a Proverbs 16:32. It says, "He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city." So if you're able to rule and control your spirit, you're better than him that could take a city. You know, this guy's he's a strong fighter and all this and that, but he clearly has no self-control. You know, this video makes it very evident.
And tries to explain what went on with Stu.
I was in the swing.
No.
What he thought was he was a pro.
I just said.
Yeah. Another thing is, even when we are working like that, you don't fucking.
Yeah, which is stupid, right? So let's continue.
You know
That's what I'm saying.
But he doesn't
So-
know him like that.
He don't. He's a fucking idiot. Hey. So when you run in on his shit, you fucking give him his receipt. You remember what a receipt is? Give him that fucking receipt, bro. Tag his shit. If you got a fucking problem with it, I'll fucking run out there. Tag his shit, bro.
See, and his friend is telling him that, and this is only building the demons up in this guy's mind. He's like, yeah, now I'm gonna get him. Which his friend should have never said that, but that was Satan working through his friend as well.
After being given the go-ahead to give this guy his receipt, Roger's on go mode for the rest of the night.
I'll get it there. Hey, as long as I get my lick back, I'm straight. I'm straight.
This is kind of the turning.
And then and this whole time he wants his lick back. You know, for something that they already, I know I skipped it, but they already shook hands and all that before. And Stu apologized, the guy who hit him with the can. He apologized because, you know, he seen that he was serious about it. He apologized. Now, that's why the scriptures speak about vengeance is mine. You know, you can't be going around trying to seek your own vengeance. This is why he got put up in this situation that he is. And he doesn't have any wisdom. He doesn't have wisdom. His father doesn't have wisdom. You know? That's why Jake puts himself in these situations, man. This is all right, this is Romans 12:19. It says, "Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves." Okay? This is what he wanted to do. He wanted to avenge himself. The whole time he was sitting there thinking about avenging himself, and he was only growing in wrath. You know? But rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, "Vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord." Okay? So you have to wait on the Lord. When people do us wrong, you know, it's not for us to just seek vengeance. It's for us to wait on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai to exact his perfect judgment. Because you think that your judgment is going to be good, but Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has perfect judgment. Okay? Perfect judgment. You understand? So, you know, the way you think you could get him, nah, man, the Lord can get him way better. You know? The Lord could get him way better.
Point in the night as Roger gets time to chill out and kind of think about everything and gets rage baited by all the comments in the stream.
This nigga got knocked out. I didn't even get knocked out. Why didn't you fuck that guy up? Cause nigga, if I would have done something, then they would have kicked me out of this shit. Then there would be no more stream today.
And you see, Satan is working heavily through those comments. He was working through his friend. He's working through the situation. The Stu, the guy who hit him with the can, and now he's working through the comments to build up that wrath in this guy. And that's how it was in high school too. You know, I would be might have had an argument with a guy in high school or whatever, and it wasn't even that big. But then the other kids around, they would egg it on to make it a big thing. Oh, you gonna let him talk to you like that, this and that and that, and then all of a sudden you guys are scrapping because of the demons working through them other children when it wasn't even that deep to begin with. That happened multiple times in my life, you know. As I'm talking about as a young child, a teenager rather, a young man rather. Okay.
That shit pissed me off, bro. It didn't even hurt. It just pissed me off. I know this shit's crazy.
All right, everybody.
This is like my third or fourth stream.
Now, at this point of the night, Raj's dad, Rampage, got informed on what's been going on with his son on his kick stream.
And a lot of these guys on these things, these streamers, they read the live chat and they just do whatever these people are telling them to do, and some of these dudes have, I believe, lost their lives, and also if they didn't actually lose their life, which I believe some of them did, you know, they actually lost their livelihood, as in going to jail, man. you know what I'm saying? Actually getting arrested because they're following what the hell they're saying on the chats. You know, some of them is just because they're getting money, which Satan works through that too. You know, the love of money is the root of all evil. But then in his case, he's doing it because his ego is hurt, you know?
Through the comments.
I'm watching stream. I'm watching my son's stream.
So
I saw you hugging on your coach.
So anyway, so Rampage come and talk to him, whatever.
Rage baited by every single person in his comments, letting him know that he's a fake crash out.
He straight up dissed me.
For the rest of the night, Raja gets successfully rage baited by every single person in his comments, letting him know that he's a fake crash out, a pussy, a pushover, and just gets disrespected everywhere that he goes.
And that's how demons work in your mind. They always focus on negativity. Demons always focus on negativity. All right. So that's one thing. All right. Let me read another scripture before I get to the main part. It says Proverbs 12:16. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. He didn't cover his shame. His wrath was just, you know, out there. We understand at the beginning his wrath being there, you know, when the guy hit him with the can. I understand that. But then after the thing was supposed to be squashed and is over, the guy apologized. Why are you still full of wrath? You know? Why are you still full of wrath? Because he's a fool. You know, he's not wise. This is Proverbs 14:29. It says, he that is slow to wrath is of great understanding, but he that is hasty of spirit exalteth folly. And this is what makes him an easy target for Satan. You know?
I'm gonna fake crash out. All right, bet.
He's full of wrath, man. Full of wrath, not able to control his spirit, emotional. Those are easy targets for Satan. So brothers, take heed that you're not like that, you know?
You about to see you about to see how fake of a crash out I am. Now I get a chance to get in the ring and do this and do some shit to him. How many subs to knock him out? That's a good question. I don't know. Fucking can.
Gets a spot in the Wild Samoan
Exactly.
Cup tournament
Watch.
in November.
My dad can't never call me a bitch. Straight up. Tell me to fake him. They say I can hit him for real. Exactly. People think this shit's sweet. People think this shit's a fucking game. Straight up, bro.
Oh, let's do this. I can't really read what they're saying right here, but I know that the guy behind him is the one that gave him the signal to go ahead and interrupt the match.
I'm so sorry.
No, stop it!
You! Get on it!
So he's actually, you know, wailing on him, and this guy's been knocked out since the slam. And he's wailing on him, wailing on him. Still wailing on him. This is what this has become what? Attempted MURD to the E to the R. You know, people try to pull him off and he's still going. This is wrath right here. This is wrath. This guy's in the hospital right now. Okay? And not looking in good condition because look at this, man. The goose already knocked out. You hit a dude like that, the dude is through. You could kill a dude doing that. So this is wrath. This is a dude not using his brain. This is a dude that's full of emotions. And that's why he was an easy target for Satan. Easy target. And he's been an easy target for Satan. It was only a matter of time that something like this happened with a guy like this. Like I told you, this guy got so mad one time he punched his own father, Rampage Jackson, who was a UFC fighter himself, who was a champion, a legend. Which that's why he beat his ass. That's why Rampage beat him. But look, from back then he had too much rage in him. He didn't have no sense. And like I said, I don't know if he was raised by, Rampage or if he was raised by the N-Dub. I don't know. Meaning by herself without Rampage around because he has the emotional control of a woman. And you mix that with testosterone, that's a very dangerous thing. So anyways, this is a cautionary tale, Akim. Don't let Satan provoke you to do something that you're going to regret. Now he's going to have to go to jail for sure. He got to go to jail for this. This is just come on, man. This is close. This is pretty much attempted MU to the R to the D to the E to the R. So anyways, with that, Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect, and I'll say shalom.